This episode of Spooky Season Arcane Carolinas is brought to you by Squat Shots. BDDY Holdings is sad to announce Squat Shots have been discontinued due to suboptimal outcomes. Squat Shots are a product of
BDDY Holdings Incorporated,
a diagonally integrated company with several major subsidiaries.
You are listening to Arcane Carolinas, an exploration of the Carolinas' folklore, legends, myths, and modern weird. Each episode, we examine the historical context of our topic and aim to preserve some of the stories that help make this part of the world such a fascinating place. All right. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I need these for my notes, but I also want to look at you.
Oh, so yeah, it's like no problem. Yeah.
It's really okay. What's going on? Is he having neck problems? Is his neck firmly attached to his shoulders? It's like wobbling back and forth. Hello and welcome to Arcane Carolinas. On this, our Halloween episode.
Yeah. It's good to be here. We're not recording it anywhere near Halloween.
We're not.
So the Halloween vibe, all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, okay.
It's inside of you, Michael.
It is.
Unleash it.
Halloween is a spirit that one can carry within oneself year round.
Behold my transom.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that cool bat stained glass.
Yeah. Some skulls and some eyeballs.
Yeah. Got some good stuff.
And it's August.
That's okay, actually. There is a big box hardware store in our town that already has their Halloween stuff up.
Sweet. So anyway,
yeah,
we're here.
I endorse it.
This is the Halloween episode for Arcane Carolinas.
Yes.
No real firm topic today, except to talk about what we like about Halloween and maybe some fun, weird stories that we haven't told before.
Okay.
Like, I think very early I told the story of my Karate Man trash bag costume that I threw up inside of.
Yeah.
So we don't need to rehash that one. If you want that one, you can go all the way back to... I can't remember if it's the first episode or like episode X.
It might be episode 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 0. We called it episode X on another show. Yeah, same difference, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do have one story to share.
Go for it.
One little cryptid story that I think, why don't we hold off on that? Let's talk about some things that we particularly like about Halloween and how weird things contribute to the overall vibe of the month of October, but then persist throughout the year. I think that's actually good. We didn't have that planned, but we're looking at things that have set up, whatever. So here's an example for me. I live in a neighborhood with sidewalks, one of those kind of Amblin Entertainment looking places where there's an apartment building at one part, connected houses at one part, standalone houses in another part. Everyone is represented. Every type of domicile is represented in this slice of Americana.
Yeah.
Right? Halloween here is awesome. People decorate, like tons of neighbors decorate. The apartments across the way decorate, so like out on their decks and stuff. There's stuff. Everybody gets in on it. And people descend on this neighborhood from all over the place, and it becomes absolutely insane. The streets are clogged in a happy way, and people just coming and going, and it all kind of dies down weirdly by 8 o'clock. Like the sun is down, and it just kind of stops, which I guess is like the new norm these days. So then when you see people out there, it feels like extra creepy. And then you start to wonder, like, are these just the people that go out late at night? Anytime, because they're out there.
Yeah,
so
they are.
Here's a story that happened to me, and I have plenty of witnesses, and it was almost like our presence like reset this person's brain. Like they weren't expecting there to be anyone else. So I begin to wonder, do they think I'm the weird person that's out late at night, or are they the person that's out late at night being weird? So we were coming home from dinner. It was me, the missus, my folks were with us. They were visiting. We park. This was like in the fall. It's cold. Open the doors, and there's a lady with a large dog walking down the sidewalk.
Okay.
And she's directly where we need to go. So we just stop and go, after you. she just stares at us and doesn't say a word. And, sometimes people with dogs will be like, no, after you, goodbye. I don't want my dog to freak out, whatever. It's like, he did none of that. And just slowly stepped back as if we were going to get them.
Wow.
I was like, all right then. Just proceeded inside while staring at the person what is going on right now? Is this a person? Is this an alien in a human suit that hasn't been trained for this interaction?
Yeah.
So that was one spooky late at night weird thing. It just left me unsettled.
Sure.
Right. Because of the overall weird vibes that our neighborhood has during Halloween, I remember one time I might have even called you after this happened. There was something outside.
Well, that rings a bell. Yeah.
It was early. I want to say it was 4:30 in the morning and maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, but it was stupid early, well before anybody else is awake. And I go outside and I go out back, and in the alley there's lights. As I'm walking, the lights are doing the weird thing where they flicker and seem to turn off as you approach them, kind of thing, which is a phenomena that people like to discuss as just a coincidence, whatever.
Oh, yes. Okay. I just connected this to which story it is. All right.
Yeah. And then I looked up ahead, and there's a car parked in the rear of somebody's house. And I swear it looked like somebody with a hoodie on or something, looking up over the back fender of the car, the far side of the car, at me. And I froze for a second, almost like a little Jawa. Or a Star Wars fan. Right?
Yeah.
And I see it, and it just ducks down really quick. As soon as I notice it, I was immediately freaked out. Because the lights are doing weird stuff. I'm like, what was just on that car? Rational me says, oh, it was a cat or something was on the car, dropped off the back. So I hustled up there. I decided, well, the only way out is through. And I charged ahead. We're going to see what this is. And there was nothing there. No animal. And there's a solid fence there. No animals, no people, no nothing. And it was weird. And I feel like that was scary and weird and unsettling, but kind of fun. And I feel like the month of Halloween has those feelings throughout it. And that's one of my favorite things, is that you get to feel a little bit spooky.
Yeah.
Not scared, just a little bit spooky every day.
So to be overly academic, as is my wont, maybe not academic in this case, but literary. Traditionally, Halloween is considered to be one of those times when the veil is thin. And so it is fitting that around Halloween, even if it's not Halloween day or Halloween night, that there are all these sorts of liminal experiences where we feel like maybe for a moment we have stepped out of reality into another, or another has stepped into ours. And there's this sort of weird overlapping of worlds where there briefly was a kid in a hoodie hiding behind a car. Maybe that kid in a hoodie hiding behind a car just stepped through, from their world, and they were like, what is happening? Why is there some dude up there?
Why are the lights shutting off as he's walking towards me down the alley?
Right? It's very Stranger Things. And that idea of the norm, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, that idea of being in the normal world and realizing that the normal world has become the abnormal world, and you're still in it.
And I feel like you get to have that feeling all throughout October.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't remember whether this was in October. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. It's not Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but in our old neighborhood, right after I bought that house, so this would have been easily 20 years ago, maybe more, I had gone out the back door of the house to take something to the trash. And this was in the fall. It was in the autumn. The fact that I could see the street meant that it was autumn. And I come around the corner of the house, walking towards the trash can. It had a pretty long driveway for a suburban neighborhood. It was an older suburban neighborhood. And so the house was set pretty far back off the street. And I come around the corner, and standing directly under the street light across the street in front of somebody else's house, thus almost spotlit. There is just a person in a totally nondescript tracksuit at 2 a.m. I worked an evening shift back then, just standing there staring at where I had walked around the corner of the house as though expecting me, which was very jarring. So I'm standing there, staring back at this person.
Did they slowly descend into the squat position?
No, they did not.
Wasn't that kind of tracksuit?
No, it was not that kind of, I don't know what kind of tracksuit.
Eastern Europeans squatting in a tracksuit. It's an internet meme. Somebody will get it. Yeah. There's actually on the Durham Reddit, somebody's trying to start a group where people just do that in downtown Durham in the social district.
All right.
Everybody put on your tracksuits and squat in a circle.
I am fully in favor of harmless public strangeness.
Yes.
So, yeah. So have a ball, people. But I realized this person is just like they had been standing there staring at the spot where I would come around the corner waiting for me.
This is horrifying, by the way.
So we stared at each other for a little bit. And I thought to myself, there have been burglaries in this neighborhood lately. But if I were somebody who wanted to do something illicit, I don't think I would stand in the brightest possible light on the entire street for 2 blocks in any direction to do it. So, you have that moment where, for a second, I thought, I wonder if that's somebody who's casing my house. Like, why? Then immediately realizing that doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
And so we stood there staring at each other. And then I proceeded to open, I had a light that was over me, so he could see me also. There was a light at the back door. And I proceeded to open the gate to go out of my backyard thinking, well, the only thing to do is to take this trash to the trash can.
Right.
It's not like he's standing there pointing a gun at me. As soon as I opened the gate and took one step out of my backyard, he turned on his heels and just shot down the street. I mean, like Olympic runner.
That's weird.
Speed. Just took off. And I could hear his shoes hitting the pavement, just so fast, unreally fast. So I thought, well, that's weird. And I walked up to the end of the driveway because I was not going to charge the guy, but I did want to see what happened.
Right.
And I walked up to the end of the driveway, and by the time I got up there, he's long gone. Nobody.
You interrupted something.
Yeah, nobody visible in any direction. I have no idea to this day. It was a very strange thing. I asked about it on my neighborhood listserv and was just like, hey, does anybody know if somebody in the neighborhood goes for late night runs in the middle of the night or something? I'm looking for a really mundane explanation. And it wouldn't be an abnormal experience, except that he was already looking in the place where I would be.
Right. And
the fact that he obviously felt the need to beat a hasty retreat the second I took one step forward.
Maybe it was an altered dimension you, and he knew that he couldn't make contact with you.
Maybe. I don't know.
Ah, crap, he's coming this way. I just wanted to watch. This is my favorite part. This is when he takes the trash out. I just wanted to watch. Dang it, he saw me.
I also feel like that's typical, though, of a lot of the abnormal experiences that people have. You're doing just the most mundane thing. I was not sitting in the backyard transcendentally meditating, asking the Space Brothers to pay me a visit. They just a dude in a tracksuit stared at the place where I'd be before he could have known I would be there, which is very strange,
But I love that feeling.
Yeah, and the way that
maybe not the one that you had. That seems kind of scary. That seems like they were definitely wondering if they could come in your house.
Yeah, the way that the houses were arranged, there wasn't anything visible behind where I was going to be standing. There wasn't anything for me to be watching that way.
I've been to that house.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
just woods.
That's weird.
There. Yeah. He was just standing in front of my house, staring. It did turn out eventually that there was a teenager in the neighborhood who was breaking into people's houses, but he was doing it during the day.
Maybe he cased him at night.
I don't know. Maybe.
Was it a good-looking tracksuit? What color? I like tracksuits.
Okay. I have no idea what color it was because he was it was the middle of the night and he was standing on one of those Duke Power blue and white electric lights, so it's kind of really difficult to know color.
I have I have one that I keep around as loungewear for the winter, much to my wife's chagrin. She said, "What are you wearing right now?"
It was around the time that The Sopranos was on.
Okay.
This will tell you how long ago it was. And it, at the time, made me think of all the tracksuits that they wore in The Sopranos.
So Sopranos tracksuit, not Eastern European.
Velour.
Hangout tracksuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sort of fake velvet.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know why that occurred to me at the time because I was definitely not close enough to have any idea what it was made of. But it just kind of had that little bit of shimmer to it, And at the time, I had really good eyesight. I think that's also worth noting. Somebody's going to see me at a thing and be like, that dude's wearing glasses. There's no way he knew what was happening. But at the time, I had 20/10 vision, so...
Well, I like that one. Other things about Halloween, besides the feeling of spookiness and unease, and like you said, the liminal experiences, right? Like I feel like a lot of those happen in the fall.
Yeah.
I love the smell of. I don't love the noise that my cat is making going in the sink right now. What are you doing?
The one up top is just watching.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He lets the other one be bad. Excuse me for one moment.
No problem.
He's in the sink. He got in. How did you even get in? Back to the Halloween hangout. Oh, that's a great title for this episode because that's all it is. Yeah, if you're expecting like a big groundbreaking debunker proof of ghosts, this episode is not the one. So other things I like about the fall, specifically Halloween, is the smell of wet pine straw and wet leaves with like on like a cool, crisp morning. It just lets you know like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. It's Halloween time.
The neighborhood that we used to live in before we moved was much like yours, a neighborhood that was a destination neighborhood for kids to come trick or treat. Eventually, a lot of the kids in the neighborhood aged out, and I think they kind of put the kibosh on it to some degree because it had pretty seriously faded by the time we moved. The neighborhood would get a ton of kids. One of my favorite things about Halloween is the way that it encourages kids to be expressive and creative and to experiment with who they are for a day. I just think that's so much fun. There's so much imagination at work there.
That's fun. I like that.
And we would always get the kids who would be like, can I have 2 pieces of candy? And we would be like, kid, I'm going to load you down with candy.
Yeah.
Like, we would buy a lot of candy, and it was just take as much as you want, kid. Have fun. Be encouraged to experiment and play around with your identity for one day of your childhood.
Yeah, it allows kids a certain level of autonomy.
Yeah, absolutely. And
The only traditions that you are beholden to are don't be a jerk.
yeah, right.
Like,
Don't be a
that's it.
jerk, and otherwise be whoever you want.
Right.
That's not a bad philosophy for life.
Right.
We would always hang out and hand out candy, and we would give toys and all kinds of stuff. We would make little gift bags that had like bouncy balls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And every kid had the best costume we'd ever seen, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
I do love staying outside and giving out candy. One, because it prevents the teenagers from taking all my candy.
Well,
which happens. But two, also because you get to see the excitement and stuff like that. That's really fun.
I actually love it when the teenagers show up and want candy. I am thrilled to give them candy.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that fun ground out of them.
No, I'm for that. I'm not for emptying the bowl.
Oh yeah, no, the kids who show up and just steal the whole bowl. No.
Yeah, we got cleaned out last year because I dared to wander halfway down the block for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And in that 10 minutes, I was just like, oh crap. So by the end of the night, when the sun is setting, it's approaching 8 o'clock, and I'm out there just giving away Arcane Carolinas, Critters, and Cryptids figures because that's what I have, and Nutri-Grain bars from my pantry because that's what I have. Just like, hi, you want a little Sasquatch? Or you want a cereal bar? I'm not going to send you away empty-handed, but it's also not going to be exactly what you came for.
Yeah, we used to give so much candy that we would have to get it from Costco. But now we live in a house that's in the middle of the woods and is not visible from the road. So I doubt we're going to have a ton of traffic.
Have you seen the trading card packs they have now? So Pokemon's been doing it for a couple of years, but now like other properties are getting into it, like different sports. They have like, it's like the amount of trading cards that you might get in a Happy Meal, like 3 cards or whatever. But it's like so cool. Like it's a non-candy alternative giveaway for like the little gift bags and stuff. And like, give me 3 Halloween candies that you would want to be on the receiving end of, that you would want to get.
Okay, Skittles right out of the gate. Sour Patch Kids right out of the gate. There's a lot in common there. There's a lot of overlap. I love sour fruit flavor.
Yeah.
Also, anything dark chocolate.
Okay. I really liked being a kid, and the trick-or-treat candy was an opportunity, not only like you get your favorites, right? But also get stuff that you would never get any other time.
Yeah.
Like Biddo honey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, Necco wafers.
Yeah.
Like now and laters.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I always thought that was kind of a fun thing. Because like, I'm not going to town on like a big bag of bitter honeys.
Yeah.
Right? But like every now and again, you're like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, look, my grandmother gave me sweet tarts. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet tarts. Oh, they were fun.
They were great.
That you could play with that food.
Yeah, that was a favorite from childhood.
Yeah, they were good. I think what I looked for, though, like what I got. So that was like the fun part for me was like, I would never get to try this otherwise, would be getting the fun size Snickers and freezing them.
Oh.
So good.
Never tried it.
So good. That and Three Musketeers were always a big hit. I like the little fun size chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Those are my jam. M&Ms as well.
Milk chocolate is okay.
Yeah.
But dark chocolate is like where it's at for me.
No, like as an adult, I much prefer dark chocolate. Like if I were to go out to some sort of grown-up trick-or-treating thing and they were giving out candy, I would definitely be looking for dark chocolate. I would be looking for the purple bag Skittles. I really like the purple bag.
Okay.
Those are the wild berry ones.
Yeah.
So it's got like the strawberry and stuff in them. So dark chocolate, I'll go with you on Skittles, but I'll change it to purple bag from standard. And then for a third, I might have to go just Dum-Dums because they come in so many different flavors. They're just kind of fun.
Yeah. As a kid, I didn't even really have favorites.
Okay.
Other than I really loved Twix bars and I loved sweet tarts. But in part because like that was something that we just like never had around. You know, we just like never kept candy around in our house. So
yeah, we had a jar of peanut M&Ms in red and green around Christmas time, and my dad would just house them by the fistful and be like, "Gotta take my fat pills."
we would get Whitman samplers at Christmas.
Okay,
yeah,
but he'd call them that, and I'd be like, "Dad, maybe slow down." If you know it's not good for you, why are you housing it by the fistful? Poor Chuck. I feel like he's caught it on the last couple of recordings.
At least this was the end of the season, so there's nothing live to talk about.
Yeah, you're in the show, buddy.
Except for whatever I put at the beginning.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, man. Like the overall vibe, the sensory experience of cooling weather and smells that let you know that you're transitioning season. Obviously, candy. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a great time of year.
It's a mixed blessing. I enjoy autumn itself. I despise winter. And so the part of autumn that is, winter is coming is terrible.
Yeah, you and I have had this discussion, and you think I should be sent off to an institution for my love of the cold.
I just want to be able to migrate to someplace warm for the winter.
For me, it's I can always bundle up. I can always get myself warm. I can't cool down.
That cold gets in.
Yeah. Well, you know what else gets in?
What's that?
Volume 3 of Arcane Carolinas, the book series. It gets right in your bookshelf next to volumes 1 and 2, available now. Visit www.arcanecarolinas.com or Amazon.
Indeed. Or see us at one of the live events that I mentioned before this recording.
I think they'll all be done by now.
Well, by then we might have something else that Because by then we might be talking about RecCon.
Oh, yes. And, it's been announced officially that I will be in Ohio for the Loveland Frogman Festival.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So that'll be cool. All right. Do you want to hear a story?
Yes, I do.
This is very purposely meandering, like just hanging out at my kitchen table, drinking coffee.
No, that's cool.
Talking about stuff we like. So earlier this year, I went to the Grafton Monster Festival in Grafton, West Virginia. I would like to go again. I hope to. I'm waiting on a few scheduling things to iron out. And the presentation, the talk I gave there, because it's rude to go into somebody's house and tell them their business, was not about the Grafton Monster.
That's fair.
I found lesser known cryptid story and posited why do some stories persist while other stories don't, and how do they become a part of like the cultural fabric of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just Potato.
Okay.
He's fine.
Yeah, no.
That's how he talks.
We have a couple of cats that sing their song, so it's all good.
This is the obscure story that I shared, and I won't go with, I'm not going to rehash the whole discussion panel and everything, but this one just made me laugh. So I was like, I might like this. Are you familiar with the town of Bremerton?
Never heard of it.
It's a suburb of Seattle.
Okay.
It sits across the Sound. There's like a naval yard there. They built built ships there, 100 years ago. I think they might still build ships there. The band MXPX is from Bremerton. They have a song called Move to Bremerton.
All right.
The hook of which is Move to Bremerton, we'll hang out.
I've actually written a fair amount of fiction set in Seattle, but I don't actually know very much about it.
Okay. Issue number 6 of Strange Magazine, published in 1990, collects a number of tales of the unexplained, but this one stands out as being unique and a first-hand cryptid account from a woman named Virginia Staples. I bring you the Bremerton Shrimp.
All right. Goodness.
So we've set the stage. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We're on the water. Mm-hmm. In 1948, Staples was living in an apartment on Denny Street in Bremerton, Washington, hanging clothes to dry in the basement. For people that might not remember clotheslines are a thing that people use to drape their clothes over to dry before drying machines and laundromats.
Yeah, grew up with one.
Yeah, so the apartment had a very large open basement and had passage holes in the exterior / foundation walls, which is weird.
Yeah.
And those are rumored to lead to the water. It sits right on the Puget Sound. Bremerton, the town, sits right on the Puget Sound.
And when you say passage holes, do you mean the size of a mailbox? Do you mean a doorway?
Like doorway size.
Okay.
Like a smuggler's tunnel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Staples, Virginia, she's down there doing her laundry, and she can't shake the feeling that someone is staring at her. Which in and of itself, we've talked about this. That's a weird thing. Why do we have that? Why do we have that sensation? I forget what episode we talked about that in.
Yeah, I don't remember. But for me, it's proof that we're all a little bit psychic.
If you're hearing us talk about this for the first time, go back to episode 1 and start at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
Sorry, it's basically 150 episodes of conversation, so you're going to have a difficult time occasionally.
So she turns and looks, and here's the direct quote. I was so scared I can still feel it. I could not move. In one of the huge holes in the basement, there stood this thing. She then goes on to describe the creature she encountered as being as tall as she was. She was 5 feet tall. And bright orange with little spidery thin legs and antennae. She ran out of the house immediately, went to stay in Seattle to live with a relative. She was really freaked out, so she went to the aquarium because she felt like it looked like an aquatic creature. This is a quote. The only thing that I could find that looked anything like it was this little tiny shrimp. When she finally did return to Bremerton, so she eventually went back to where she had lived and everything. The apartments had been torn down on Denny Street.
Wow.
Yeah. And she said, nobody would really believe this, but God is my witness. It really happened. A giant shrimp, Michael. Or a prawn if you're English.
So orange, spindly, covering. I did just the other day edit the Monkey Dog chapter of Volume 3. I can't help, therefore, but wonder, damp orangutan?
Oh. Yes, the aquatic apes. No one ever suspects the aquatic apes.
That orangutan swam to freedom and found its way into that basement.
It's this is where I'm hanging out. So, this one's weird, right?
Very.
Why is it obscure? Why is it so buried? So I, did the thing that we do, and I went looking, and census records show there are records of several women named Virginia Staples from the larger metro area of Seattle.
Right.
Including Seattle itself.
Okay.
So there is, it's reasonable that Virginia Staples could exist. There's naval activity in the area, and there has been since 1891 when the Navy first purchased land on the Puget Sound. So the bit in here about the apartments being torn down, I do apologize, I left this out, that the apartments have been torn down to make room for Navy work. My apologies, I left that out. So the U.S. Navy is active in Bremerton, and there are tunnels in the area. There's dry docks, infrastructure maintenance tunnels, but what about in basements? Yes. Isn't that weird?
And there's the whole Seattle Underground thing.
The answer is shared basements.
Yeah.
Right. So large old buildings that were connected below ground on the basement level, they would often share a furnace.
Oh.
So holes would get punched in the wall to connect the buildings for efficiency to keep the costs down in winter. So you can go into one building and go through the tunnel in the wall and pop out in the other building.
Yeah.
I think that counts as a tunnel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that, people would just go exploring if they got bored in those tunnels.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So, but There are glaring inconsistencies with verifiable records right off the bat. County assessor's records show that Denny Street is a small side road between Perry Avenue and Trenton Avenue in East Bremerton. Has a few houses that date back to the early 30s and 40s, and there are some empty lots, but no record of apartment buildings. And the account that said that her apartment was torn down after the Navy expanded, that doesn't work because there is a Puget Sound Naval Shipyard that has expanded over the years, but it's nowhere near this residential area. It's like on the other side of town. Lastly, the apartment is not close to the water. It's a pretty good... So any tunnel down to the water, no. That's not it. It feels like an amalgamation of like bits of local culture. You know, Seattle Underground, connected basements in large old buildings and apartments, Virginia Staples definitely being a real person. So Shrimpy the Bremerton Shrimp.
If I really wanted to go to bat for this story, I would raise the question, well, what if the area where that street originally was got bought by the Navy?
Sure.
And then after that, they reused that street name on some other street.
So you are, yes, that is something that people are saying, Michael.
People are saying, see, I'm in the zeitgeist.
Yeah. So finger to the pulse, Michael G. Williams. Yeah. So there's a couple articles. There's one guy that really wants to make Shrimpy a thing. And he acknowledges like, well, maybe it could have been somewhere else. And there's a woman that did a bunch of research into this as well that also says the same thing. She framed it as the Denny Street we know today.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but I can't find any record of any other Denny Street. Like, at some point, you got to be willing to go. All right. But it is such a weird story. And I love that it comes from the early 90s in essentially a zine. You know what I mean? Like, somebody took the time to write the story and send it. And for me, that's what makes me believe that it's probably an amalgamation of a few different pieces and that the writer either was one of the Virginia Staples or wanted to preserve the name of, you know, a loved one or a friend or whoever and, you know, made the protagonist Virginia Staples.
It's so funny.
Basically, I think we got a West Coast Wedby on our hands.
But
which I kind of love.
Well, yeah. But also, I think that does raise an answer also to your question of why do some survive and others don't. And I think it's because you need not exactly verification, but there needs to be momentum for a story to be preserved.
There needs to be momentum, and I think there needs to be a kernel of truth.
Yeah.
It can't just be a bunch of disparate pieces of local culture slapped together.
Yeah.
It needs to have some historical context. Just like the historical context you'll find in Arcane Carolinas Volume 3, available now at www.arcanecarolinas.com or on Amazon.
By the time you will hear this, it's like a 2-month-old book, and that's so funny to me. Not that means that money doesn't spend 2 months later.
Christmas is right around the corner. You know what makes a great gift? Volume 3 of Arcane Carolina.
Volume 2 is pretty good too.
Buy them all.
But I do think that, like, I'm not saying that I know what it is.
Yeah.
But people see something at Loch Ness, or at least enough people saw something at Loch Ness for that to become a thing that people would continue to say they saw.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I know what they are, but people see lights in the sky.
They absolutely do.
You know, so that sort of thing, there is momentum behind those stories. And like you said, that kernel of truth. Somebody sees something.
Right.
And a story accretes around that.
I do love the idea of a giant shrimp, but like, I don't even think their circulatory systems would work like at that size. Like, there's got to be like physical limitations.
Yeah, you know that thing you read on the internet or in books of how if an ant were blown up to be the size of a person, it would die from the weight of its own shell layer. Exoskeleton. Thank you. I'm kind of feeling like maybe something like that is probably true of a shrimp blown up to be our size.
Yeah. Do you think it would be cool to have an exo and endoskeleton? Like, what if you had like armor and a skeleton? Is that like, I guess it's like a turtle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Turtles have bones and they have a shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We should have shells.
I don't want a shell. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to lug it around.
Get in, Michael. We're getting shells.
Middle-aged mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's what I would be.
Sign me up.
Every now and then I'd just be like, oh, I can't remember which one I am.
Why did I come into this part of the sewer layer? I don't know. But I think Shrimpy would actually be like one of those Ninja Turtle characters from like later in the series, animated series, and like Toy Line, where they're just like throwing everything at the wall. Like, I don't know, put a shrimp in there.
Right. It's got big, the Tick kind of vibes.
Big the Tick vibes, and making the Ninja Turtle analogy. None of this was scripted. Like, I just had this thought. But it was, what, 1990, did I say? That was kind of late in Turtle Mania.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the toys were definitely stretching by that point. As someone, like, I know they still had some mileage with the movies, but, like, the toy lines were really cranking out some weird creatures at that point. Huh. Inspired by Ninja Turtles?
You never know.
I'm calling it right now. It is. Hey, if they can make stuff up, I can make stuff up. This was inspired by Ninja Turtles.
It was inspired by the Ninja Turtles we know today.
Yes. But yeah, Halloween, man. I wanted to share a quick silly story from earlier in the year. I'll talk about some things that we like about Halloween as a season, the vibe. Yeah.
I'm not going to dive into what conspiracy theory it was because it doesn't bear repeating. But I did one time hear an interview with someone who had produced an entire documentary about their pet conspiracy theory, and they were trying to get some traction with it by doing podcast interviews with like shows about weird stuff. Mm-hmm. And on a show where weird stuff had been very respectfully and sincerely entertained repeatedly, the hosts heard this incredibly ridiculous conspiracy theory having to do with the death of a pop star and like really ridiculous. It was very Elvis faked his death, but not about Elvis.
Yeah.
The hosts basically were just like, you've got to be kidding. And in the middle of talking about it, the person whose conspiracy theory was that this pop figure was still alive referred to them in the past tense and then said, oh, I mean, is. Like, you know, like Ronald McDonald was. I mean, is, you know.
Right.
And it was so funny to me that the hosts just started laughing.
Speaking of McDonald's, have you seen the current Happy Meal toys, Little McDonald's? For people that follow this stuff, I just dated how old this episode was. How far in advance this episode was recorded?
I think it would be a little creepy if I did know anything about Happy Meal toys right now.
Okay, well, they're really cool.
Okay.
They've like miniaturized.
You have kids in your life.
The toys aren't all theirs, Michael. They have like little itty bitty tiny lunch trays and little itty bitty, like with the little tiny meal on it. It's like Dollhouse McDonald's stuff.
Oh,
it's really neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can cut all of that from the episode. It has nothing to do with anything.
I think that provides some insight into how I think of myself.
But yeah, that's all I got. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Okay, scary skeletons.
Yeah.
Goodbye. You've been listening to Arcane Carolinas. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. For more episodes, behind-the-scenes information, and links to our social media, check out www.arcanecarolinas.com, where you can also buy the Arcane Carolinas book.
And if you like award-winning horror and science fiction, check out my books at michaelgwilliamsbooks.com. And if you have story suggestions, comments, or questions, email us at arcanecarolinas@gmail.com. And thanks for listening.